Welcome to When the Smoke Clears. I am the recovery plug. What's going on, everybody? Thank you for tuning into the video podcast today. I really appreciate that. Before we get started, you know how I like to get my podcast video started always with a moment of silence, followed by the serenity prayer for the addict who still suffers and those of you in the struggle. So, if you would, please, a moment of silence. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, courage to change the things I can, and wisdom to know the difference. Alrighty, let's get started. Man, how's it going, everybody? It's going pretty good. Today's a great day, another day in sobriety, another great day to be alive and stuff. It's just, I'm grateful, you know what I mean? So I wanted to talk to you today a little bit about this process of meditation that I do, and it is that I learned off of I learned it actually off of a book by Beth Ann Mulligan, and it's The Dharma of Modern Mindfulness, and this is the book right here. See that? And there's this whole series, this exercise on MBSR training, which is it is a mindfulness-based stress reduction is what it is. That's MBSR training, and what it is just a way to meditate through breathing techniques and just being mindful of that process. And so what I wanted to talk to you about that particular one of the particular exercises in that process is body scanning, and body scanning is just a form of, I believe, from what I interpret, it is just a form of preparation in meditating, and it is it's you can do this sitting down, you can do this lying down, just whatever position that you want to be in that's comfortable for you, and the process can be anywhere from 5 minutes to 20 to 30 minutes, maybe even an hour, right? And what it is just you getting in this relaxed state and mentally scanning your body from head to toe or from toe to head, you know what I mean? However you want to do it in your, whatever you feel comfortable with. And for me, I always mentally start at my feet, my toes, and come all the way up to my head, right? And I usually do it lying down, and it's just a process where I'm being mindful of the way I breathe. At the same time, every time I'm taking a breath in with my nostrils and letting it out through my mouth, I'm focusing on getting my mind, kind of narrowing it down into where my feet are, and I'm visualizing, my toes and just visualizing and feeling the muscles in your feet, and just scanning all the way up, basically. And every time I'm thinking about a part of my body and my muscles and how I'm feeling the energy and of each particular part of my body, and getting it to this relaxed state. And during that process, you begin to actually feel your muscles and every part of your body just kind of melting down into whatever position you're in, and you just feel kind of like this at ease type feeling. And that's the body scan of preparing yourself to get into this meditative state. And the purpose of body scanning is to mentally be aware of things that are happening in your body, and how you're thinking about them, and how they're affecting your thought process. Because a lot of people, what they do is that they they have these problems, right? Just for example, we'll just throw, oh, my calves are sore, or I got some knee problems, and when you do this body scan, you'll start to feel how your body starts alleviating itself in a sense of these stressors, because anytime your body's in this constant stress mode, right? I mean, anything that you're doing, whether you're walking, standing, sitting, when you're up and you're conscious, your body's in motion. You know what I mean? Your body's is contracting and it's expanding and contracting, and it it's in movement. So any type of movement that you're doing, whether you're lying down, whether you're standing up or sitting, and it's a stressful thing. You're putting stress on your body some way, shape, form, or another. You know what I mean? So when you get into this scan, you're being mindful of what it is that your muscles are doing at that particular time, and you have this conscious awareness to kind of get them to relax in a sense. You're basically almost telepathically communicating with them, and as you're doing that scan, you'll find it's just weird how it works, but you'll find that every time you're just scanning your body as slow as you can, and you'll just feel every part of it's just like if you start here and you have these stiff muscles in your feet or whatever, and then you start thinking about them and being and noticing what they're doing, and just telling yourself that okay, you're good, you don't have to be so tense there, and just moving along through your legs all the way up to your head, and you will find that you feel your muscles just kind of melting down into whatever position you're in, and that is just, to me, it's just amazing how that works. You know what I mean? But it's healthy, and it gets you, it gets your communication skills with your mind, your heart, and your body to be all in sync, and you start to be mindful of those things throughout the day, throughout whatever it is that you're going through, and you because when you practice these things on the daily basis, it becomes repetitive, and then you start noticing it throughout the day in other actions that you do, that you're being mindful of what you're doing. You know what I mean? And how you may be putting stress that you don't need to be putting in your daily routine or whatever. And I know for me personally, that was something that I was always under stress during my time in the addiction. You know what I mean? Because when I was in the darkness, in the form of using, addicted to using drugs and whatever, I always found myself, I could remember always being tense, whether it was during the use or if I was done using and I needed more. I was always in this stressful, tense mode, and I can remember feeling my body like that. And to me, I'm like, man, how long or how much of the day was I like that? And I could even remember times when I was asleep, and I could just remember my mouth being clenched, or my shoulders being tense, because I was still, feeling the effects of the methamphetamines or whatever, and always being in this tight freaking mode in a sense. You know what I mean? And no matter what I was doing, there was always some sort of stress happening, some sort of reaction to whatever my body was doing, and it being unhealthy. I can remember feeling unhealthy, and knowing that I was consciously doing stuff that was hurting me on the daily basis, but because I was in this addictive mode, I kept doing it anyway. And in that sense, my thought process was, yeah, I was in this I don't give a F mode. You know what I mean? I didn't care what happened to me. I didn't care about anybody else, and I didn't care what any of the domino effects of what I was doing had on anybody or anything. And so, I can, thinking back, I'm just like, man, how much damage did I do to my body? How much damage did I do to my organs? How much damage did I do to my brain, to my, to my heart, to my muscles, to, just to my peers, to my family, just all of those things kind of, they start going through my mind like, okay, let's, I feel terrible about this. Now, what do I got to do to fix it? You know what I mean? And it's something that in my journey now, that I'm in this world and realm of recovery, spirituality, and positivity, I'm able to understand and know, that I was in that mode, and know that, know what I have to work on, and what do I gotta fix so that I don't get back into that state. You know what I mean? So I'm grateful that I'm able to do that, today, by the grace of God, by my higher power, that I'm able to recognize those red flags when they come up, because, a lot of times, as addicts, we tend to always go mentally to our default, and, when things are starting to become stressful in a sense, then automatically your body reacts to what it's used to. And for me, it was, any stress happening in my life, for me, my body obviously reacted to, okay, let's go use. And I had to, change that thought process and that, and habits, you know what I mean? Everything's habit forming. Everything that you think about and manifest in your thought process manifests into some sort of action. And if those thought processes are negative, then guess what? All your actions are going to be negative. They're going to keep you bound down to that, that darkness, that addiction, that anger, that depression, that, anxiety, whatever it is that you're dealing with. And so, I was doing some research and found out that in the thought process in your brain, transmitters, neurotransmitters, chemically and that sort of thing, that it takes 7 days for your brain thought process to change, to get ready for a new thing. So, in other words, if you do something repetitive for 7 days, then your brain processes, it manifests into this mapping of a new action. So it's a new thing that you're doing. So if you say, for example, that you never read before, or you don't hardly read, and you start reading a book. So you do this process for 7 days straight. Say you read, let's say, okay, I'm going to read 3 pages of a book every day for 7 days. And then you'll find yourself, and you'll start getting into that pattern. And it keeps you moving. It keeps you going, because now your brain is thinking a certain way. And it's not, it's adapting a new process of thought, right? So, for a person like myself, who is got this addictive personality, and I know that I'm an addict, and I had to get every negative aspect of my life and replace it with a positive action, a positive thought process. And doing that body scan, for me personally, is one of the things that I had to incorporate into my daily routine. So instead of, going to sleep every night, hitting that bolo, or waking up every morning always looking for the bowl to hit. That was the first thing I did every morning, was grab that bowl and hit it. You know what I mean? So I had to replace those actions with something positive, something that was going to change my actions, manifest my actions into this positive thing. So instead of picking up that bowl every morning, I would get up every morning and I would do a body scan and meditate for 30 minutes or 10 minutes, whatever it is, you know what I mean? Now, today, my routine is I get up in the morning and I'll do the body scan. I'll meditate for about 30 minutes, and during the meditation, I do my prayers and just my meditative things that I say and think about. And then I go, after I'm done there, I go directly and jump into to my tub full of, cold waters, which is my ice plunging bath that I do every morning now, and it's just a routine that I'm doing. And when I first started doing those plunges, it was tough because you're submerging yourself into this 60-degree bathtub full of cold water, and it's just a change, of something that you're doing, but it's a positive thing. And now I get into that tub like with no problem. You know what I mean? It's my breathing patterns are different, and I'm in there and I'm meditating while I'm in that tub, and it's just, I get out of there feeling like a different person. It just feels healthy. You know what I mean? It for me personally, it makes me feel healthy. It makes my brain, it feels like my thought process is just clear. It's like I already did my meditation. I get into this freaking tub of water and I get out, and now I'm ready to start my day. Now, like, all circuits in my freaking brain and in my body are running on all full cylinders. You know what I mean? Everything looks great. And that's how I start my day. You know what I mean? And I'll, after that, I'll pick up a book like this one and start reading it, because I do that every day. I read books every single day. I make it a point to, I started with just reading 1 or 2 pages, and now I make it a point to read 1 or 2 chapters of a couple of different books every single day. And then I get myself ready, and I think about what I'm going to do for my video podcast, and then I get into that, and I do that, and then, it's just a repetitive thing of doing things every single day that are going to help you to improve your thought process, to get all those negative actions in your life and flip them and switch them out with a positive action. Because when you have positive action, when you have positive things that you're involving yourself with, that changes your thought process from being negative to positive. And you'll see that when you do this on a consistent basis, it becomes easier. And the more you do it, the easier it becomes, because then it becomes second nature. It's like you don't even think about it. You just get up and you start doing it because your brain's already used to doing that. And it's just the same way as I can remember the same thing, the same type of actions, except they were negative when I was in the addiction. You know what I mean? I'd wake up every morning, okay, where's my bowl? If I didn't have it, then my thought process was already, I'm pissed because I don't got it, and I got to go do something to get it. Now my mind is thinking, okay, what do I got to do? I got to go do this, I got to go do that, I got to go hustle, I got to go do a lick, I got to go do all these negative things to get this negative end result. You know what I mean? So I understood that I had to change every aspect of my life, every negative aspect of my life, and replace it with something positive. And the end result is that, I'm sitting here doing a podcast, clean and sober, and full of just joy and gratitude and mindfulness and enlightenment, and just glad and happy to share my experiences with the people listening to my podcast. You know what I mean? I look forward to that. I look forward to bringing in a new subject or sharing a new story, and hopefully that it helps somebody else, because I've been in all those bad and negative situations, whether it was being homeless, whether it was losing my home, whether it was losing my business, whether it was losing my family, whether it was, going through a death in my family, the loss of my dad, the loss of my uncle, whether it was going through those childhood traumatic experiences and remembering those things, and just, the PTSDs, and remembering things of when I was in the military, and just all of those types of things, those negative thoughts, I'm able to now, with a clear head, being able to see the end result of replacing negative actions with positive ones, and negative thought processes with positive ones, and to be in here to be able to share those experiences with you, and to let you know that things do work out for the better if you just do a little bit at a time. Because this didn't all just happen in one, just one action. You know what I mean? It was a moderation of macro managing my thought processes and the things that I did on a daily basis, and just getting rid of all the negative stuff slowly but surely. And now I'm sitting here, I would never have thought that I was going to be doing a podcast on, encouraging things of talking about addiction and recovery, and spirituality, and just helping somebody, you know what I mean? And spreading the message, you know what I mean? But that's why I do it, because it's not only therapeutic for myself and in my recovery journey, it's just part of what I call my service work, and sharing the things that have helped me along the way to get to where I'm at today in my journey of being sober, and being spiritually connected to my higher power and Mother Earth and all of that stuff, you know what I mean? Is just great. But it's something that I wanted to share with you guys, and that in the MBSR training, which is the mindfulness-based stress reduction training, and it's just part of that was doing that body scan, you know what I mean, and being aware and mindful of what you're putting your body through, and how to relax it when you scan your body like that from head to toe, and just being mindful of every single part of that scan as you're going up, just thinking, okay, I'm going to relax my toes down, I'm going to relax the heel of my feet, and the coming up to my calves and my shins, and then my knees and my thighs, and my buttocks, and out to my middle, my abs, and my chest, and my shoulders, and my arms, my fingertips, my ears, my nose, my head, all that. And when you do a body scan like that, and mentally tell yourself that you're aware of each part of your body, and aware that they're all under stress, and aware that you're now relaxing, you're now not worried about the stress, you're not worried about anything, you can just feel your body just ease into this relaxed mode, breathing, and just listening to your breath, and then just constantly thinking positive things. And it's going to be hard at first, because your mind's going to be racing. You're going to think all kinds of stuff. But the point is to do it consistently. Do it every day. Try it. Try it for a week. Do it every single day. Do a body scan like that. And then just lie down for about 20, 30 minutes. And, some of you might fall asleep. Some of you might just, think about a lot of stuff. But if you do it for 7 days, see how that works for you. You know what I mean? And you may find it, helpful, that it'll change your thought process, and it'll be rejuvenating in a sense. You know what I mean? So I just wanted to share that with you guys today. See, what you guys think about that, and because I know that it works for me. So it's another, one of the things that's in my recovery arsenal is doing a body scan and preparing for that meditation and getting into that positive mode, and you'll find that it helps. But at any rate, I really appreciate you guys watching at this time. And if you please give me a thumbs up, hit the bell, hit that subscribe button, I greatly appreciate it. Just know that when you do hit that subscribe button, all you got to do is tap it, and know that when you do that, you're helping out another veteran, another person dealing with PTSDs, another person dealing with anger, drug addiction, all these emotional states of things that are hindering people, and because I've dealt with all of those things, and I just hope that you share my channel, and the more people that we can share it with, the better. And the more people we can bring to this side of positivity and sobriety and spirituality. So again, I guess until the next time, when the smoke clears, I am the Recovery Plug.